oh, did I make a video that was relevant? I think I did. 24 hours ago, I posted a video talking about how I voted for Trump. And at that time, he hadn't won yet, so I didn't know how it was going to work out. But that actually ended up being one of my highest performing videos in a while in the short amount of time it's been up. So that made me think, well, you know how I am. I'm all about my side hustle and making ad revenue. If you are going to respond more to videos like this, maybe I'll make more videos like this and see if they continue to trend to get more views that ultimately bring in more ad revenue. So let's have some fun. We're going to look at some of the comments that I received because this is fun. This is entertaining. You're going to watch this video and you yourself may even leave a comment on this. So to be clear, I'm referring to a video I made called Why I Voted for Trump in 2024, even though I don't identify as Republican or even as political. Now, since then, you'll see new videos come out where I'm saying, yeah, I think I'm a Republican now. So there you go. And you can watch those videos and learn why. But I do want to look at the comments that I've received because I love the reflection of society that shows up in these comments. So here we go. I'm going to try to go through them all as it relates to at least the content. And there's other people commenting about my beard and stuff. Okay, here we go. Here's the first one that I got. So it says, what you just described yourself as being is the classic low information voter. Male podcasters, what a joke. And then someone else said, someone who watches 3-hour long form interviews with a political candidate instead of a 30-second soundbite on CNN is low information, too funny. So that was the person responding to that comment. So here's what's interesting. I said in the original video that I'm not someone who watches the news. To me, it's very obvious that the news networks, whether it's Fox or whether it's CNN or ABC, whatever, they're all very commercialized. They're catering to one side of the fence so that they can sell more ads to the people who largely identify. Now, at this point in my life, I do identify as Republican. This is day number 1 for me. But even then, I'm looking for the most middle of the road perspective of that. So I'm not far right. I'm just identifying as Republican. It doesn't mean that the craziest part of it is no. I'm Republican. I'm as middle of the road as possible and Republican, whatever that looks like. So therefore, yeah, I care more. For me, the more intelligent conversation is going to be somebody like Dave Ramsey as he interviewed Trump. Theo Vaughn, yes, he's a comedian, but he has some real conversations. He had Trump on there. And of course, Joe Rogan. I'm not ashamed to admit that I have watched Joe Rogan for years, and I definitely largely agree with his perspective on things. And I'm not ashamed of that. And I think that's more intelligent than watching news, because network news is very slanted. The people that I named, they go into things with an open mind and they want to hear what the person has to say. Whereas the news is more about selling fear. And I know that, and I'm not interested in consuming fear. All right, so let's look at some more comments here. The next one, oh yeah, okay, cool. So I'm just looking at all the ones. Okay, somebody says, I'm out of here. And then I got 2 likes. And I said, I didn't know you were here, which is always one of my favorite things. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for 9.5 years. And it's so funny when people say unsubscribed. 99% of the time, I never knew who they were. Like, that was the first time they ever left a comment. So it's really ironic to leave a comment saying, I'm out of here. Who are you? I didn't know you were here. Like I feel the dagger for you leaving. No, how can I miss you if I didn't know who you are or that you were ever here? So that's always funny to me. Let's see here. So we got another one talking about my hair, beard. Okay, here we go. Here's someone saying, I'm in the exact same boat that you're in. And that got 2 thumbs up. All right. Here's another one. Respectfully, I appreciate the insight you give, but I don't understand how his persona and the values he represents are not immediate qualification for anyone with half a brain. And so they're talking about some, all the things that I got to keep this a clean channel because I'm that kind of person. I don't curse. I don't speak that way to begin with, but also it would hurt ad revenue if I were to quote this word for word. But ultimately, Please tell me what made you vote for this. I'm clueless. Well, I've already addressed that in the original video. But I think, again, I'm middle of the road. I'm not saying that I'm completely aligned with everything Trump has ever said or ever believes, because I'm not super hardcore far right. Like this is this, how does your screen look? Because on my screen, this is right. But either way, I'm not hard right. I'm, what's the most central you can be and still be Republican? That's what I'll be. So that doesn't mean that, I've heard Dave Ramsey say it recently. You're not marrying the person. You're not even getting in a business relationship with them. Out of the two options, you made a choice that most align with your values. So my values, as I've stated before, is that I am a very hardworking person. I care very deeply about my family. I care about the economy. And I care that we have strong leadership. So those values overall line up more. But no, it's. I think the immature way of thinking is that you have to agree with everything somebody believes before you can vote for them. That, to me, that's silly. Here's what that's like. That's like saying you have to morally agree with anybody. For example, that if you don't morally agree with a person, then you automatically disagree with them. Now, for me, I have a strong sense of morals that I live by, but I don't carry other people to those same standards. They're living their own life. If they ask me for my opinion on how I live, I'll be happy to tell them, here's why I do this and here's why I believe this. But it doesn't mean I look down on them or I need them to live just like me. Like, I can look at any person and think, nobody's perfect, and I know that, and I don't expect anybody to be perfect. And there are definitely certain people who line up more with my, my own moral code or whatever it is. But when I'm given the choices between two candidates, I can make a choice without it meaning that I agree with everything and that the way that they've lived their entire life. To me, that's just not a double standard. I'm not someone who voted for a savior. I'm someone who voted for president, and they ended up, winning. Let's see. So somebody else saying, hope everything's well, and you do look like Ben Affleck. I've got that so many times over the years. I can totally see your reasoning behind your vote. Well spoken. Here's someone who said, okay, wait, we already got that one. All right. So I think we might be caught up on the comments. Let me see if I've got some new ones since I've posted this. Okay, so I think we are all caught up now. But ultimately, oh yeah, here's more. The election was a hoax. Okay, so I think we're good. But ultimately, I appreciate these comments, and I do plan to make more videos like this, but because you're responding to them. I can make videos that tell all about psychology and personality assessment and really things that would help you. But if the conversation you actually want to have is about this, then I'd rather show up and have the conversation that you'd want to have. Oh, here's another comment that came in. It says, Nick, you chose wisely. The people that voted based on sound bites, blurbs, rhetoric, and words taken completely out of context, they will call you uneducated. The fact of the matter is, education and wisdom have nothing to do with each other. You, my friend, voted with wisdom. Let them hate if they want. Yeah, and that's exactly it. I mean, I'm the kind of person where I don't need to be seen as a good person. I have my own convictions morally, and I know what my principles are, and I live by those. I'm a man of my own principle. But for someone to imply that I'm immoral, that's their decision. And now, granted, if they told me to their face, I'm like, Nick, you're immoral. You're wrong. I would say, no, you're wrong, and I don't care. And then I'd walk away, because that doesn't mean anything to me that the person disagrees with me. Because I think as human beings, we're all people pleasers to a certain degree. But I'm at the place in my life where I don't need people to like me. It's just not important. If everybody likes you, then you're doing something wrong, because then you're too much of a people pleaser and you actually don't stand by your own convictions. You're too easily swayed by trying to make people happy to actually be a man that someone can respect. So I truly don't need people's approval. I'm happy to have conversations and tell what I believe and why I do, and why my perspective has shifted over the years on certain things. But it's just funny because if anyone implies that I'm an immoral or ignorant person, then I'll say, no, you're wrong, and I don't care. All right, so keep in mind, the more you watch videos like this and comment on them, that helps the algorithm, and that means that I make more of these videos. If you don't like seeing these videos, don't click on them, don't watch them, because anytime you comment, even if it's that you completely hate the content, it actually tells the algorithm that you liked it and sends you more of it. And that tells me, make more videos like this. So that's how it works. If you don't want to see these videos anymore, don't watch them, don't like them, and specifically don't comment whether it's negative or positive. If you do like this, then yeah, simply like it, comment on it, and I'll know that this is worth my time to make more of these. That's how this thing works. Your comments belong right here.